Hello, gentlemen, and welcome to the Men Save Your Marriage show. My name is Terry. I'm your host. I did an autopsy on my failed marriage, and now I use the lessons that I learned to coach other men on how to save their marriage before it fails. I'm going to share with you the things I wish someone would have shared with me before my marriage failed. Are you ready? Let's get started. Hello, gentlemen, and welcome back in. This is Terry, your host, and you are, of course, here for the next episode of the Men Save Your Marriage podcast. I'm excited today. We're going to get into episode number 19, and today we're going to be talking about the role of faith and spirituality in marriage. Now, there are some of you that are very faithful, you're very spiritual, and that's great. There's some of you that are spiritual, but you're not very religious. That's okay too. This is not a judgment thing. This is just talking about the fact that we are human beings in relationship with each other in marriage, and on some level there has to be some faith and spirituality, and we're going to talk about that today. So even if this maybe isn't your bag, don't tune it out. There could be, or there will be, hopefully something for you to learn in here. So let's jump into this, shall we? We heard the bell. That means that we're in the ring, means we're in the fight. This is episode 19, and we are in the fight together to save your marriage. And here we go. So, the role of faith and spirituality in marriage. For many couples, faith is a foundation that kind of strengthens their marriage, providing guidance, comfort, even a shared sense of purpose. And in this episode, we're going to explore the power of shared spirituality. Offer maybe some practical ways to incorporate some faith-based practices into your marriage and your marriage that is recovering, and then also discuss how to navigate differences in beliefs with some grace and understanding of each other. So as always, I'm going to come at you with 3 points. We're going to jump right into this. We're going to just jump right in here. Point number 1, thank you. My brain's just kind of foggy there for a second. We're going to discuss the role of shared faith or spirituality in building a strong marriage. So let's talk about faith as a foundation. When couples share a spiritual or faith-based perspective, it provides a strong moral and ethical framework for their relationship. And there's also, besides a foundation of faith, there's a power of unity, right? Because we're sharing this together, right? Shared faith fosters this sense of teamwork, helping couples approach challenges from a we perspective rather than a me versus you perspective. So you've got that power of unity, and it creates this team effect between the two of you, right? Faith also encourages forgiveness and grace. That's critical, especially in marriages. Good heavens. Mine lasted for more than 25 years, and if there hadn't been forgiveness and grace, I don't know how we would have survived 1 year, right? Because at the end of the day, we're all human. We're all fallible. We all make mistakes. Faith encourages forgiveness and grace. Many spiritual traditions emphasize forgiveness and helping couples kind of extend grace to each other rather than holding on to resentment. Okay? And it's also a source for strength during trials. Listen, life is full of challenges, and quite frankly, life's hard enough as it is. And every single one of you out there are exactly where I am at today. Listen, I guarantee I'm going to catch all of us. Either we're going through a hard time, or we just came out of a hard time, or the phone's going to ring before the day's out and another hard time is coming. That is life. That's the condition that we live in. So faith is a source, and that this dynamic with the two of us is a source of strength during hard times, whether it's financial struggles, parenting issues, health concerns. All of this stuff can be so overwhelming, but when, as a couple, you lean on your faith together and you lean on each other, this is a source of strength. And spiritual connection deepens emotional intimacy as well. Couples who engage in spiritual practices together often report higher levels of connection, trust, and shared purpose. There's just no way around it. That's just really the way it is. People who share in faith together become closer, and they have it deepens the emotional intimacy. So these is just a few, these are just, these are some of the roles that shared faith and spirituality helps you in building a strong marriage. And let me just say here too, if you've never kind of had a faith piece to your marriage, what if you introduced it? What if you started to seek it out and seek it out together? Figure out what you do believe. It can't hurt. You're already listening to this podcast and you're engaged because you have a struggling marriage. So it can't hurt to have a faith element added to it now and see if it truly can deepen your relationship together. So that's point one. Let's move on to the next one. Point two. There's some suggestions for spiritual practices that couples can do together. I'm going to save this first one for last. Read scripture or faith-based books together. Choose a devotional, maybe Bible passages, faith-inspired book to discuss and apply to your relationship. You know, what are you doing now? Are you reading the Bible? Are you reading, a devotional? Can you do that together? Can you share in that? What about attending services or spiritual gatherings together? Do you go to church on Sunday? Do you guys go together? Whether it's church, temple, a study group, participating in some kind of faith community together. This helps foster a sense of belonging and shared values because now you two share this together. What about practicing gratitude? Take time every day to express gratitude for each other and the blessings in your life. Reinforcing a positive perspective in your marriage. Or here's a great one. What about serving together? Volunteering together. If not your local church, maybe a local charity. Helping in your church or supporting those in need. This helps bring couples closer together because now, remember, you've heard me say, and I know I just said this last episode, talking about how you are the servant leader. But what if you two are servants together? What if you are serving together? Whether that be your church, your faith community, just the community, it doesn't matter. Are you finding a way to volunteer and serve together? This helps bring you two together. And you could meditate or reflect together, quiet moments of reflection or even guided meditation. Whatever is your thing, whatever you like to do, can you do this together as a shared event? This can create a peaceful space and allow you to reconnect spiritually. And imagine if you're starting to reconnect spiritually. And if from that last episode that we just did, what if you're starting to do those small acts of kindness and connect emotionally? Now you're connecting spiritually. You may be connecting with her in a way that maybe you never have before, or maybe a way it's been a really long time since you connected like this. Okay, these are all different things that you can do. Now, I said I was going to take the first one and leave it for last because this one is critically important. This is, how do I say this? I think if there was one single silver bullet to save a marriage, or maybe the marriage that doesn't need to be saved, but a way to deepen and strengthen a marriage, also the way that I think every marriage should begin. After knowing my own failures in marriage and after working with men and talking with men and understanding marriages the way that I do now, I think this is the single silver bullet to change, to deepen, to save a marriage. If you are willing to put yourself out there, to pray together. And I don't even care if you don't believe in God. If you can sit face to face with your wife and allow her to fold her hands, and then you kind of fold your hands over hers in an act of protecting her, but at the same time your hands are in an act of surrender, and you pray over her, I think it is absolutely game-changing. It is the one thing I did not know. And if I could go back to day one of my marriage, this is the one thing I would change. I would make it a daily practice to hold my hands over hers, and we would just close our eyes for just a moment. I don't care if your heads are, your foreheads are kind of touching each other, if you're just kind of leaning into the prayer, but just to take her hands in yours. And kind of put your hands over hers and protect her and to pray. And if you don't believe in God, it could be something as simple as a prayer that's just, you know what, God, we're not real sure about you, but if you're out there and if you exist, we kind of need you to show us that in our lives. And we're going to need you to lead us if you are for real. It could just be just a 30-second or a 1-minute prayer. I promise you, gentlemen, I don't know how to stress this enough. This is an absolute game changer. Pray together. Show her what leadership looks like, but also at the same time, she's not only seeing you lead her and lead the family, she's seeing you surrender and be a servant to something greater than yourself. I promise you, this is the game changer of game changers. Pray together. I can't stress that enough. Okay, I'll get off my soapbox. We'll move on to the third point, and then we'll wrap this up. So let's talk about how to navigate differences in faith or spirituality. Let's say that you don't come from a background of faith, but maybe she does, or she doesn't and you do, right? We got to figure out what this looks like and how we move through this. So here's just a few thoughts. One, respect each other's beliefs. Even if you don't share the same faith, respecting your spouse's spiritual journey is crucial for harmony. Two, find common ground. Just find common ground together, even if you don't have the same beliefs, or maybe there's differences, whatever the case. Focus on shared values, love, kindness, service, integrity, rather than theological differences. Okay? Don't get into the weeds on the theological differences when there's so much common ground that we can share. Love, faith, kindness, all of the things that are good and serve each other so well, not just in husband and spouse, but just in our society at large. But find that same common ground with your wife, right? Communicate openly. Have honest, judgment-free discussions. Judgment-free discussions. Judgment-free discussions. And I stress that because when it comes to faith, spirituality, or religion, it is so easy in our society today for them not to be judgment-free. And it's so important that they are judgment-free discussions, and have these discussions about faith and what it means to each of you in your relationship. Okay? This is critical. Honor each other's traditions. If you have a different faith background, find ways to celebrate or acknowledge her traditions or both traditions in a way that honors each other. You can still honor each other if you don't actually, rather than get lost in those theological differences, find the common ground. This is critical. Focus on love over doctrine. Okay? A marriage thrives when love, grace, and mutual support take priority over theological disagreements. It's absolutely imperative that love and grace win in your marriage. And finally, involve spiritual mentors or counselors if you need it. Maybe your spiritual mentor is a couple that has been together longer than you, a couple that's grown together in ways that you haven't yet, and you need to find that spiritual mentor. Okay, or counselors if you go to church, or if you a pastor, whatever the case may be. You guys have to find what works for you, but seek guidance from a faith leader, from a counselor. They can maybe provide some wisdom in navigating these differences, but this is critical. And finally, as a closing thought, faith and spirituality, when embraced together, can be a powerful force in strengthening your marriage. Absolutely unbelievably powerful force. Whether you share the same beliefs or you come from different perspectives, the key is to approach faith with love and respect and a willingness to grow together. So commit to one small spiritual practice this week and see how it impacts your relationship. I would challenge you that needs to be prayer. Exactly what I talked about, you praying over both of you in front of her. And I don't mean you're driving away or you're standing there and she's driving away, and you're just, God, please protect her. No. Face to face, hands folded, yours over hers. And the reason I stress that, the reason that I stress that is because then you're both showing signs of submission to something greater than yourselves with your hands folded. But at the same time, you are demonstrating with yours folded or kind of wrapped around hers, you're demonstrating that protection as a husband while you're demonstrating the servant leadership to a God that is larger than both of you. That's your challenge this week. When you listen to this episode, your challenge is to pray with her. I promise you, if you've never done it, she will see you differently. And she will crave that every day in a way that you have never imagined. This is critical, gentlemen. This is absolutely imperative. But understand and be ready, because this is going to demand growth out of you, and it's going to demand growth out of her. For you to be able to be so open and to be so just laid bare in front of her that you're willing to pray protection over her, and you're willing to pray in front of her, with her, to God. She will see this. This is just an absolute game changer. I don't know how to stress it enough. Clearly, I'm fumbling around with the words because it's difficult for me to describe. I'm telling you, this is the one. This is the silver bullet. This is the thing that I wish I would have known 30 years ago. This is a game changer. So I would challenge you, if your marriage is struggling, and I assume that it is, that's why you're here, whether you have or whether you have not had a faith piece to your marriage, now's the time to implement it. And my challenge to you this week is to pray over you guys. And you're going to have to explain to her, and you know her, I don't, obviously. You're going to have to figure out how to say this to her, whether it's just like, listen, I'm kind of pursuing this faith thing, and I know that we're not entirely sure what our beliefs are, or we know what our beliefs are, but maybe this is something we've never done, or we've kind of done it in passing, or there's some of you in the audience, maybe you hold her hand as you guys stand facing the pulpit at church and you pray together in your pew, right, in your seat. But no, this is just the two of you in the house, face to face, eyes closed, head bowed. Put your hands over hers, and you lead in prayer. This isn't a time for her to pray. This is a time for you to pray. And that prayer could be 30 seconds. It could be 2 minutes. I promise you, gentlemen, this is a game changer. All right, gentlemen, thank you for being here today. I do appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you or talking to you on the next episode. But for now, we're going to wrap this up, and we're going to get on with our day. I hope you have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you or hearing from you again. Thank you. Now, go pray for her this week. That's the challenge. Have a great day.